Reports of daily high coronavirus infections.
The second phase of Egypt's parliamentary elections inside Egypt begins today. The voting process of the second phase takes place in 13 governorates. The story.
Polls opened in several electoral districts across Egypt on Saturday morning to kick off voting in the second phase of Egypt's House of Representatives elections. The second phase of the parliamentary elections covers 13 governorates: Cairo, Qalyubiyya, Daqahliya, Menofiyya, Gharbiyya, Kafr el-Sheikh, Sharqiyya, Damietta, Port Said, Ismailiyya, South, and Sinai. Around 9,468 polling stations opened their doors for voting on Saturday and Sunday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Around 31 million Egyptians are eligible to cast their ballots in the second phase. Some 2,083 candidates are competing for 70 individual seats, while 284 candidates are competing under the list system in 2 districts. The results for the second stage are set to be announced on 15th of November. Runoffs are due to be held later in November and in December, and the winners will take their seats in Parliament in January. In polling stations, wearing face masks and adhering to social distancing are among the mandatory restrictions adopted. Moreover, Egypt upped its security measures nationwide to secure the governorates where the elections are being held, with security forces dispatched on main roads and other areas to ensure the safety of vital facilities. The domestic vote comes one day after around 140 polling stations in embassies and consulates in 124 countries, concluding mail-in voting by Egyptians abroad after opening to receive ballots on Wednesday.
President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi cast his ballot on Saturday at the Martyr Mustafa Yusri Abu Umair School in Heliopolis District in Cairo Governorate in the second phase of the parliamentary elections, which is being held on the 7th and 8th of November. In addition, a number of ministers and state officials also voted in polling stations as the elections are being held under strict preventative measures amid the coronavirus pandemic. Also, His Holiness Pope Tawadros II, the Pope of Alexandria and the Patriarch of the Holy Apostolic See of St. Mark, cast his vote in Cairo's Waili neighborhood. Minister of Foreign Affairs Samah Shukri, the Minister of Trade and Industry Naveen Gama, and the Higher Education and Scientific Research Minister Khaled Abdel Ghaffar, as well as the Minister of Environmental Affairs Yasmin Fuad, cast their ballots. Also, the Minister of Interior Mahmoud Tawfi and Minister of Endowments Mohammad Mukhtar Guma headed to their polling stations where they cast their ballots as well.
The head of Egypt's National Elections Authority, Councillor Lashin Ibrahim, stated that voting in the second stage of the Egyptian House of Representatives elections is going smoothly since the start of the elections today. Ibrahim has called on citizens to head to polling stations and cast their ballots. In press remarks, Ibrahim affirmed the importance that citizens, including youth and women, choose the representatives inside the parliament. Ibrahim called on the youth, whom he referred to as the present and future of Egypt, to cast their vote and participate. He also stressed the need to abide by preventative measures against coronavirus, including wearing masks and maintaining social distance during the voting process. The NEA had added that masks are being provided for free at polling stations.
The head of the National Media Authority, the NMA, Hussein Zain, stated that the national media screens and broadcasters are following up the process of the Egyptian voting at ballot boxes for the parliamentary elections. Zain said Egypt is witnessing a fruitful democratic atmosphere through the elections under the wise leadership of President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi. Zain's remarks came during casting his vote in the parliamentary elections in one of Cairo's districts. The head of the NMA added that the national media, radio and television are covering the election process and providing a distinguished professional media coverage nationwide of all election activities by a network of correspondents.
Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli followed up on the measures dealing with shifts of severe air pollution in the Great Cairo and Delta during the period of the beginning of September until the 21st of last October. In a report filed by the Minister of Environment, Dr. Yasmin Fuad, to Madbouli, the minister said that 97% of assembling locations were monitored, in addition to 691 locations of rice straw assembling in Delta were activated. The report also said that 95 ministries axes were activated to monitor firing of agricultural and solid waste in open places. The minister added that the results of the Environment Ministry's air stations showed that general air quality at most areas of Greater Cairo and the Delta is good according to air quality indicators.
Democrat Joe Biden said he was going to win the U.S. presidency as his lead grew over President Donald Trump in battleground states, although television